teams in the conference should be getting together and seeing how it all goes down.
Brady has all kinds of time. Throws toward the end zone. It is a caught ball. Touchdown, Mike Evans.
Leonard Fournette on a 20-yard run. Oh, my goodness. That is game-altering. Touchdown! And the Packers fall back into the NFC Championship game.
And the Packers just won't go away.
It's do or die right now. And a late flag is thrown on the play.
Tampa Bay is heading to the Super Bowl.
2 words, Tom Brady. Oh my goodness. Stephen A. Smith, Max Kellerman, and Molly Karen Rose. Max, it took me a lot not to tweet at you yesterday. This man is unreal. I know you're both a little sour today. That bad man got taken down. Let's get right into it. Stephen A's at a loss for words for once here. The Bucs beat the Packers 31-26, sending Tom Brady to his 10th Super Bowl. But it was Matt LaFleur's decision to kick a field goal on 4th and goal that had everybody asking questions after the game. Listen up.
We essentially had 4 timeouts with the 2-minute warning. And, you know, we knew we needed to get a stop. And I thought we were going to have a stop there at the end, but, you know, we got called for the PI. And it didn't work out.
Well, I didn't have a decision on that one. Yeah, that wasn't my decision. I thought maybe we're going to have 4 chances to go.
I think Aaron Rodgers needs a new environment, but that's a later discussion in the show. First, Stephen A., let's focus on that 4th and goal call. Did that cost Aaron Rodgers a trip to the Super Bowl?
I believe it did. And when I say that it cost him, meaning it eradicated any chance that he had of pulling it off. That's all I mean by that. There were a lot of plays that preceded that, and we get all of that. We understand that this is a 60-minute football game, and we get it. We also understand that Tom Brady and his greatness and at age 43 and all that he accomplished, that's the kind of stuff that we'll be talking about as the show progresses. But not Mike Patton, even though he was awful as a defensive coordinator. He was awful. Matt LaFleur. We're going back to LaFleur. We're not going LaFleur. We're going LaFleur. Just for the purposes of today.
Stephen A., sir.
If it sounds disrespectful, to hell with it. Matt LaFleur.
They hit LaFleur last night.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, listen, this man, it was a straight choke job by the coach. If this were a player, we would call it a choke job. Matt LaFleur choked, played, coached, scared, out of his damn mind, looked in over his head, and oh, by the way, at the end of the day, ended up reminding you why it was questionable why he was named the head coach of the Green Bay Packers to begin with. Because for those of you who don't remember, this was the man who presided over the 27th ranked offense in the National Football League in the Tennessee Titans when he was hired as the coach of the Green Bay Packers. In a day and age when the Eric Bieniemy, who's #1 in practically every category, can't get a job, Matt LaFleur is the head coach of a team quarterbacked by Aaron Rodgers. You started off the season screwing him over because you had a succession plan that you put right in front of his face by drafting Jordan Love, and you ended the season by taking the ball out of the hands of a guy who is about to be named league MVP, flat out balling, 45 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Listen, let me tell you something. I'm so disgusted with what I saw from Matt LaFleur yesterday. It's just inexcusable. We walked into this game, let's call it what it is. Molly, Max, we walked into this game, what were we thinking? We want to see Aaron Rodgers get Tom Brady. We want to see Aaron Rodgers get Tom Brady. Now, if a Steve Kerr or a John Paxson or somebody, Max, takes the winning jump shot, who gave him the ball? It was MJ. You make that call. You don't even Phil Jackson knew better than to sit up there and have somebody else make the call other than Jordan. You give the man the ball and you say, take me to the promised land. But because of analytics and all of these folks out there talking about probabilities and all of this other stuff about your chances of converting a 4th and goal at the 8-yard line, God forbid that I give it to the man. Now, listen, I'm not letting Kevin King off the hook. Oh, my God. This cornerback right here, It should be difficult for him to walk the street of any NFL city. His performance was an embarrassment. Gave up the touchdown to Mike Evans to begin the game. Gave up the touchdown at the end of the first half to Scotty Miller, letting him get behind you when there's only 6 seconds on the clock. And everybody has seen it, whether it was against the Raiders or throughout his history. Tom Brady takes chances in situations like that. And then the pass interference call when you grabbed on the dude's jersey, which ultimately led to Tom Brady then being able to convert a first down. But Matt LaFleur, at the end of the day, it's your job to oversee the team. It's your job to let defensive coordinator Mike Pitt know that you can't have a cornerback in single coverage. You got no help over the top. And it's also Matt LaFleur's responsibility to recognize the fact that I've got this bad man, Aaron Rodgers, and I'm going down with the ship. He coached scared. He choked. And at the end of the day, this will be a lasting memory as far as I'm concerned. I got more to say, but the floor is yours.
He did choke. He absolutely choked. If by he you mean Aaron Rodgers, why are you trying to shift the blame off of Aaron Rodgers? Read my lips. Aaron Rodgers choked.
Whoa.
Aaron Rodgers choked.
I haven't heard anybody say that.
Here's the bottom line. He and Tom Brady were playing each other, and there was enormous legacy on the line. Enormous. Because people like me, and I really believe, I'm shocked that it went down the way it did, thought, come on, everyone knows Rodgers is better than Brady. Talk to anyone who's played against either guy. They're like, of course Rodgers is better. Rodgers has all the decision-making plus much more talent. Brady was going to be great wherever he was, but lucky that he was with Belichick. And I don't care how loaded the Bucs are. Brady went to 9 Super Bowls with Belichick, barely lost 3 of them. And goes to Tampa, and I don't care how loaded they are. He's in the Super Bowl again, year 1. Belichick was 7-9. Yeah, Brady stacked the deck in his favor, but whatever. And Brady wasn't even great last night until he needed to be. Then he made the plays. Let's go back to the end of the second half. Aaron Rodgers had 3 shots to link up with Davante Adams. They'd have scored a touchdown. They blew it. They blew it. If Rodgers had passed more accurately, they would have scored a touchdown. He was unable to link up with Davante Adams. They kicked the field goal. That also led to a decision to go for an extra point instead of just kicking a point, right? So they're going for 8 instead of 7. They wind up with 6. They had to kick a field goal instead of score a touchdown. Those points added up. In fact, it's the margin of defeat. It's the margin of victory for Tampa. But that's at the end of the half. Remember how Brady responded? Took him right down the field and threw a touchdown pass. Now, what happened late in the game on the play you're talking about with LaFleur? You're trying to somehow shift the blame to LaFleur. Oh, he shouldn't have kicked the field goal. Yeah, he shouldn't have kicked the field goal. Of course, they should have gone for it. What happened on the previous play? Aaron Rodgers had daylight. He would have run it in for a touchdown. Worst case scenario for the Packers, they'd have got him on the 1-yard line. You know what would have happened? LaFleur would have gone for it. If they were on the 1-yard line, LaFleur, if it's 4th and goal, LaFleur goes for it. They weren't. Rodgers made a bad decision. Rodgers is better than Tom Brady in every single aspect of the game up until it matters most. And then Tom Brady's better than Aaron Rodgers. And that's why the Bucs are going to the Super Bowl, and in his entire career, Rodgers, who won 13 games last year, is going to be the MVP this year, improved from last year this year. With the money on the line, didn't come through when Tom Brady did, and that's why the Bucs are going to the Super Bowl and the Packers aren't.
That's just the most asinine opinion I've ever heard you give. Aaron Rodgers choked. Please. Aaron Rodgers was born. Tom Brady actually was really, really struggling in the second half with his 3 interceptions, okay? He was overthrown. He was underthrown. He threw in 3 interceptions. He missed open receivers. Don't get me started with that. That's number 1. Number 2. Yes, Aaron Rodgers could have ran for or at least come close to the goal line on the 3rd down play. I get that. Aaron Rodgers specifically said he thought he had 4 downs. He might have approached things differently in the event that he knew that the coach was going to sit up there and not go for it on 4th down because you were in a 1st and goal kind of situation. Aaron Rodgers said that. Matt LaFleur is on the record. LaFleur is on the record stating that the communication between the two should have been better. He sat up there and said he should have let him know. He should have made him recognize the kind of mindset that he had. So he wasn't communicating with his quarterback, just like he wasn't communicating with his defensive coordinator when he sat up there and left Kevin King alone, getting burnt all day, just schooled. You're going to sit up there and leave him in single coverage with no help over the top, with 6 seconds left in the half, with Tom Brady as your quarterback. And then the most egregious part of it all, the 4th and goal play where you took the ball out of Aaron Rodgers' hands. Why do you do that, Max Kellerman? Let's dissect that for 1 second here. He's a 6-time champion. He's been to 9 Super Bowls. The dude's record, his play in the clutch, which Molly could articulate just as well as anybody, okay, is well chronicled. You sit up there and take the ball out of Aaron Rodgers' hands with 2 minutes and 5 seconds left because you want your defense to prevent Tom Brady from getting a first down. Not driving down the field for a tying touchdown. Not driving down the field needing a field goal. All he needed was a first down. And you're going to sit up there and hand Tom Brady the ball back when all he needs is a first down? Do you have any idea how dumb that is on Matt LaFleur's part?
I agree, but if not for the PI call, they would have stopped them. And by the way, they missed the holding call on Wirfs on the same play.
If not for the PI call, the guy would have caught the pass because the reason he didn't catch it.
I don't even know if that was catch.
Excuse me, you could say that, but again, the guy's jersey was yanked. And that
on the same play, Wirfs held the defender. The right tackle held the defender. And I know some people on Twitter are going, no, he didn't actually hold because there's a rule in place that if you get under... No. If you looked at the whole play, Wirfs hooked him early, rode him the whole way. It was textbook holding. Okay. And they didn't call that. But I'm not looking to blame a play or a call or a missed call. I'm not looking to blame
I gave you a litany of examples of how the coach coached this game.
I'm not looking to blame a coach. Whatever you say that cuts this way and that way, Rodgers had chances in this game where he didn't come through and Tom Brady did, period.
Listen, Aaron Rodgers sat up there. He threw, what was it for, 300 plus yards. The brother was throwing dimes all afternoon long. Now, there was 2 3-and-outs in the third quarter. Obviously, you got to hold him accountable for that. You're at the goal line. You got to convert. I understand that, okay? He should have ran on that ensuing play, that third.
Right.
Absolutely. Listen, that's one play. I gave you a litany of items where Matt LaFleur, whether it's your defensive coordinator, the decisions that was being made, or him.
How about the series with Adams right before the first half?
Scared. That's what he did.
The difference in the game, he had 3 shots in the red zone at Devontae Adams. He missed them all 3 times. They were unable to hook up. At one point, a pass got batted down. On the other side, Tom Brady took him right down the field and scored a touchdown.
There is so much to talk about today. I am so excited for this entire show. Let's keep it moving. We are getting back to this. Don't you worry. We're getting back to this. Bring another voice. Here it goes. All right. Meanwhile.